Okay. Good morning, everybody. At this time, 10 o'clock, we'll call to order the Tuesday, February 22nd Board of Commissioners meeting, and we would please ask you to rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, we will accept public comment for items that do not appear on our agenda. Is there any public comment at this time? Seeing none, we will accept public comment as each item is under consideration. We will look now for any additions to our agenda. Anything to add to the agenda today? Nothing? Okay, we are good to go. All right, we look for a motion to approve the minutes from our Tuesday, February 15th Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Commissioners meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion has carried. Okay. All right, at this time, we're going to welcome up our Director of Aging, Quentin Birchfield, and our Director of Adult Services, Faith Ryan, to discuss an RFP that's going to be released shortly. We first want to give a shout out to Quentin, who recently became our Director of Aging. We went through an exhaustive interview process, and so this is his first time in front of us as the Director of our Office of Aging. But again, our gratitude is with you, Quentin, for stepping into this role. You're in that interim role, come with a lot of experience to county government. So usually we just make a fuss typically the first time you're in front of us. Faith knows the drill, but we also appreciate the work Faith does as well. And so we'll turn it over to both of you, but we didn't want to go forward without recognizing you and congratulating you on that achievement. Congrats, Quentin. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'm not going to try not to make a big fuss now, but we're also very happy. It's a big win for our world.
Absolutely.
So we're here in front of you today to present our request for proposal, or RFP, for the Homemaker and Options program. And so this is a process we go through every 3 years. And believe it or not, we're there. And so we're looking at a contract timeline of July 1st of 2022 to June 30th of 2025. This is something that our departments have been working on together for the past couple of years and always present together and even have the same contract for a number of reasons. So although our programs are named something different, we really do provide a lot of the same type of services. It also allows our departments to work together with the same providers, and oftentimes transitioning people that are aging out of our program or need additional services that the Homemaker Services program can't provide over to Options. It provides a lot of continuity of care, a lot of discussion. It also helps us to support the providers as well, because of course them being short-staffed oftentimes or struggling to be able to meet some of our folks' needs. If we work together and kind of resolve problems or even try to help them with scheduling, we have found that to be really, really successful. So we're excited to be up here today to present this to you, to hopefully be issued and approved today. I'm just going to talk very quickly about some of the highlights of the timeline that we have, and then I'm going to pass it over to Quentin to talk a little bit about our relationship with providers and then what we've been doing as a team in the past, and we'll continue to do so. So the request for proposal that we have presented is very similar to the last round. We made no major changes as far as the content, the structure, and how we'll be moving forward. Quentin and I also worked really hard probably the end of 2021, where we engaged with probably anywhere from 7 to 10 different providers. Either they had reached out to us or we had made contact with them to just kind of start the discussion and let them know who we are, what our program was. The RFP was coming up because, of course, once it's issued, we're not permitted to speak with them independently, and everything is public. That was very successful. We were able to rally up a lot of interest, and we're hopeful that many of them will, if not all of them, will consider applying. So again, the timeline, the issue of the RFP would be today, February 22nd. We would have a period of time for the submitted written questions, which would end on March 8th. But more importantly, we do have a mandatory pre-proposal meeting, which is scheduled for March 2nd at 3 p.m. That will be virtual. So people can either come in through Zoom or they can call. We will also... we will be also expecting the deadline for the submission to be March 25th, and everything will be opened in front of you on March 29th. And then just kind of moving down a little bit quicker, we would issue the notice of contract award by April 29th. So in that period of time, that month, we would hopefully be having our contract negotiations and working with our providers. We're very hopeful to have more than 2. We want to be able to offer our constituents more choice than we have been in the past. We're also hoping if we can hit that April 29th date, that gives the providers enough time to staff up and be prepared to meet our requirements by the July 1st start date. The last thing I'll say too with the RFP, we're really looking for quality. So previous to the RFP we put out 3 years ago, it was always a request for bid. We realized that that wasn't always successful, and we really want to make sure that we're working with providers to meet their needs so that we can also meet the needs of our constituents as well.
So as Faith said, we work together on the contracts, but also in the monitoring and also with any problems that come up with billing, have it be with an issue with the provider, we work jointly together. Whenever we started this process, we were in a situation where aides are very scarce at this point, and we were looking at a new RFP coming up, and we wanted to see, is there anything we could do together to actually improve our chances of having providers, get feedback from them, and also, see if there's a way to work better together. So we started having these meetings, and we got great response from the providers, where we basically talked to them about what they needed in a process, introducing ourselves, selling our program, and also how we will work well with you. I think, like Faith said, we got providers excited about contracting with us, and we're really hoping that we're going to have several proposals from those meetings we have. We also work together to do our monitoring together as well, so which is really important, and we talked about with each of the providers of that. So we're all on the same page. You're not going to hear something different from Faith than you are from me. So we work together on these contracts, and we really hope that this is going to be a successful 3 years for contracting for our programs.
Excellent. Thank you both, Faith and Quentin. I mean, these contracts that we have with these providers really are about dignity and allowing individuals to get self-care, but also remain in their homes. And it's a great service that we can provide for many people in our community. We hope that over the next few weeks we get some great proposals that we can consider and award in the coming weeks and months ahead. But any other comments or questions before we look for advertising for the RFP?
I just want to thank Faith and Quentin for their hard work and the hard work of your staff. Obviously, for the organizations we're going to contract with, going to be some extra effort at this point to find the home care aides to assist the seniors and others in the situation. But glad that we're also looking at maybe bumping up the quality of the program as well, because as everyone was mentioning, if you have a home health care organization inside your house, you'd want it to be a great situation. So appreciate all your hard work.
It's all good. Thank you.
All right, fantastic.
The good work.
We'll look for a motion at this time to approve the advertisement.
Motion to approve the advertisement of the request for proposals for the Homemaker Services and Options Program.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any questions before we, okay. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you. You bet. Thank you to both of you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
At this time, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Higgins for a presentation. We have some guests with us for our Emergency Responder Scholarship and a little bit more about how to apply. So, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mike. I'd like to welcome up Todd Taylor of CPI and Mark Keller, the Director of the Center County Public Safety Training Center. If the two of you would sit in the seats over there. Good morning, thanks for coming.
Good morning. How you doing?
The Center County Commissioners are pleased to announce the kickoff of the annual Emergency Responder Scholarship Program. Emergency responders are vital to keeping our communities safe, providing life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. February is also recognized as Career and Technical Education Month, and these scholarships are for all three career and technical education organizations in Center County. Appreciate Todd coming as a representative. The scholarships are an effort to recognize firefighters, paramedics, and other emergency service organization members for their actions, bravery, and willingness to serve. Providing financial assistance, this program is sponsored by the Center County Board of Commissioners and offers up to $15,000 in awarded scholarships of $2,500 each. You can have potentially receive these scholarships for 2 years in a row, so it could be as high as $5,000. The scholarship support is available for those who are furthering the education at South Hills School of Business and Technology, the Central Pennsylvania Institute of Science and Technology, or the Phlebotomy Institute of Central PA, affiliated with Center Lifelink. These scholarships may be used for any course of study from the three schools, so you don't necessarily have to study something involving emergency response. Eligible applicants are students who reside in Center County, are enrolled or about to be accepted into a post-secondary program at the three schools. They need to be a volunteer for a Center County-based emergency responder organization and be 17 years or older, so not too difficult to qualify. These scholarships are awarded annually. Applications will be accepted immediately through the end of the year. And for more information and to apply, visit the county website. We have the information there, but it's going to be administered by the Center Foundation, so you could also go to their website. So why don't we open it up maybe to Todd? I know we've had maybe as many as a half a dozen of your students receive these scholarships, and they've studied a broad variety of programs, as I remember.
Yes, it's true. We've had them in all different areas, and as you know, we're just starting our fall enrollment campaign. Now's a good time for students to be looking at fall enrollment, so the timing of this is very good. And if you don't mind, I'd like to just again thank Center County, thank Center County government for our partnership, for supporting workforce education. We've been longstanding partners with Center County government, with the Public Safety Center and other programs. And this I really look at as a, I know it's a cliche, but win-win.
Yes.
In addressing the shortage of first responders, which we all know, the people who answer the call late at night to address emergency situations. But we also have a real shortage in workforce right now, and trying to address the technical skills, getting people in Center County, focused on Center County, trying to address both those areas through this scholarship. So I know we're going to actively promote it through our school and through our outreach. Folks, if you're interested in serving and being a first responder, please come see us or any of these other fine schools that there may be scholarship opportunities out there. And hopefully we can also help you gain some workforce skills to contribute to our local economy here as well. So again, thanks again for the partnership, for the support. It's been long-standing. I think we're fortunate to have one of the greatest local backings that we could ask for. So thank you, and again, thank you for this year. This is very helpful. So thank you.
Todd? Yeah, and I will have Mark Keller speak in a moment, but just wanted to thank him for the absolutely fabulous job that he's been doing at the Center County Public Safety Training Center. And apologies to Todd and your staff for stealing him here a few years ago. But the center's doing great. The new building is booked, sometimes 3 different groups in the new building, all at the same time. And I know there are times when your schedule is so full, especially when the weather's good, that you can't even shoehorn another group in on some of the weekends. So again, very much appreciate what you've been doing, Mark. And you also serve on the scholarship committee and also assist us with, when we have extra money left over, utilizing these for your EMS classes. So I don't know, maybe you want to talk about that a little bit.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners for their support of the training center. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Thank you. There is a huge shortage in first responders today. We all know that. EMTs are a very high demand job at this point. I've used 6 of the scholarships to put 6 people through EMT classes. And I think it's been very successful, because those people who have went through the EMT classes are working or volunteering in EMS organizations right here in Center County. So I see it firsthand that it is working. The EMT class is an expensive class for somebody who is not affiliated with any organization, or even the organizations that are volunteer organizations, or even the career organizations. It's still a big expense to put somebody through that class. The class is 200 hours in length, so it's a long class. Right now we are running 3 EMT classes. We are running our 2nd emergency medical responder class since September of 2021. Looking into the future, I don't see it slowing down. I see probably another increase in these classes because I get emails almost on a daily basis of people inquiring about EMT classes. When they do ask about if there's any funding available, I do refer them to this scholarship program and a few other programs that I know about. We are serving not only Center County. This scholarship is serving Center County residents, but we're serving Huntington, Clinton, Clearfield, Blair, and Mifflin County. I have students from all of these counties in our programs right now. It's just these EMT programs are not offered as much as what they should be. And people just want to get in. People want to do it. And with your help through this scholarship program, it makes it more affordable for the Center County residents. So thank you on that. A little bit on what Commissioner Higgins said. Yes, the training site is extremely busy. We're booked pretty much solid to the end of June with classes. I can still fit some organizations in, but it's tough. We're trying to get, we're actually having in April, I can't remember the exact date, a recruitment retention class for fire and EMS services.
Perfect.
So that is being put on through the Bellefonte Fire Department with their SAFER grant for recruitment and retention. We're hosting it at the training site. We're expecting a fairly large turnout. In fact, I just talked to the representative at the State Fire Academy who told me the class is full, and full is 40 people, I believe. So we are trying to get the word out there. We're working really hard to get new members to help us. If there's anybody out there who is interested in emergency services or helping to volunteer time to your community, if you have questions, please contact me at the Center County Public Safety Training Center, and I will do my best to help you and get you pointed in the right direction. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Well, the commissioners are obviously very pleased to partner with our fabulous career and technical education schools here in the county. We've also been very appreciative of the partnership we've had with CPI to jointly run the Center County Public Safety Training Center, and very pleased with Mark Keller's work there. So as somebody mentioned earlier, it's kind of a win-win for everybody. We're promoting post-secondary education, especially more affordable post-secondary education. We're assisting our emergency responders. And of course, the training center it was always busy, but now to have almost be fully booked through the end of June when it's only February is quite amazing. So again, thanks to the two of you and for everything you do and for everything. Now, I know, Mark, you don't have much of a staff at this point, but everything that everybody does up there. So thank you very much. I'll turn it back to my other.
Now, the impact that you as an organization have with the education side of it, the first responder training side, the impact is massive. You're such a necessary part of this community, have been for nearly a little bit over five decades, half a century, and we're just so vital now. So it's great that we're highlighting this today, getting the word out there again on this. It's great timing, and just look forward to a fruitful relationship as we go forward. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I think I have to echo a lot of the comments, but I think the main one is we are just so blessed in Center County to have the resources available for our first responders for training. That's one of the missing components in so many different areas. You know, you can have all these different elements of first responder, but if you don't have properly trained and people who are ambitiously going after that type of service, and it's a lot of time and it's a lot of effort, and you guys keep, and your entire staffs keep a lot of that time to a minimum. We don't have to travel, 2, 3, 4, 5 counties away to get the level of training that they really require. And I don't think it can be said enough how appreciative we are and the citizens of Center County are to have you folks there and make sure that you provide the level of service that you do and the amount of service. It's phenomenal. We're very pleased. So thank you very much. And this scholarship is just one more element in making that a success.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We'll see if Gary has any questions for either Mark or Todd.
Mark, when you talk about training center busy, is it a reflection of the classes and new people coming into the system, or is it retraining for stepped up requirements, both?
It's a lot of both. We are running right now a entry-level program for new firefighters. Our EMS programs are pretty much for new people coming in, but then we also are doing a lot of remedial training for people to hone their skills and to become better at what they do. So it's probably a 50-50 thing right now.
The nearest training center?
The closest training center to us is the Pennsylvania State Fire Academy in Lewistown, and that's a little bit of a different format in the way they offer their training, because they offer their training mostly Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 type thing. We're offering classes in the evenings, on the weekends. We make the classes suit to whatever the fire departments want or the EMS organizations want. So we do a lot of evening stuff and a lot of weekends.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you once again.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time here, okay? Take care,
Thank
be
you.
well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for putting together the press release to get the word out, Commissioner, also the flyer here. I know we have copies out front. We can also probably put them on our website,
Yes,
social media.
definitely.
So let's get the word out, but thank you for bringing this.
Oh, you're
bringing this
welcome, and
before us today.
I'd like to thank Natalie Smith for helping me with the press release. She did a good
Oh,
job.
fantastic. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Sheriff Samsel, we'll welcome you up at this time. We have a grant award, and we're happy to see you, and we'll
Good
turn it
morning,
over to you.
Commissioners. How are you guys today?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm here to request the approval of a grant by the David B. Garver Charitable Trust grant through the Elks Bellefonte Lodge 1094. The grant is to be used for community events and safety-related community events, and they have to award this to a law enforcement agency, and they generally do Bellefonte Springs. It has to be in the local community. So, of course, we do a lot of community events in the sheriff's office, and we had to submit what we expect to purchase with the money, and we were granted $1,900. I'm just asking for the approval of the grant to accept the grant.
Fantastic. We know you're out and about often, you and your staff, or try to get to every community organization, make a presence, just be out there, friendly face, answer questions, maybe recruit a few folks potentially to join your ranks. So
The thing is,
yeah.
the biggest thing for me doing all this is for the kids to interact with
Absolutely.
the kids, and they're not afraid of police, or they can come to us when in times of need. I also hand out a lot of literature on just different things. So this is going to be a big thing. This is the big ticket items we hit with a new canopy, stuff like that. So I'm excited to get the stuff ordered, but you have to specify what it's for. So, and we're going to use it in the local community. We do the Bellefonte Children's Fair, the event in Spring Township, so it has to be in the local community. And we'll use it for other things as well, in outside the Bellefonte Borough and Spring Township area. So I appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely. And well, congratulations on the grant. We'll look for a motion to approve the grant award.
A motion to approve the grant award from the David B. Garver Charitable Trust.
I will second that, absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final comments, questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, we'll welcome up Lee, and we'll look for 2 contracts to discuss today. Good morning, Lee.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Today we are looking to add 2 different contracts to the consent agenda. First being a contract with Mcgarvey's Janitorial Service to provide cleaning services at the District Justice Office in Phillipsburg. Contract will run from March 1st of 2022 through December 31st of 2023 at a total of $13,931.71. We had a longstanding janitorial service in place. She did go into retirement. So we have been bridging that gap within our department, and we were able to reach out to Mcgarvey's. I was on site. We did a walkthrough. I was very pleased, first impression. So we've been having some conversations, and we're looking forward to bringing them in and having a good relationship with them.
Fantastic. And then we can also do the second one, take questions.
Yep. And then the second one, yeah, this is something we've been talking about for quite some time. We are bringing before the contract with Altoona Roofing for the roof replacement at the Willowbank building. Contract total was $805,750. I've had some conversations with Altoona Roofing. They are working to procure material. I don't have a definitive update or anything at this point, but I did talk with them last week, so they are working to procure, trying to get some ideas on when we may see some material, and I will update that as we proceed and when we may kick this thing off. So, yep.
Absolutely. We know that from the bid that we did for the roof replacement, it was going to be a long runway. Getting the product is going to take some time, but this gives us a lot of runway as we come into the warmer weather. We know that they're doing other projects, but this sets us up for getting this done by the end of this year and getting everything finalized. So it's great. Any other questions or comments on either of these two contracts?
No, glad to see him moving forward.
Yep, good stuff.
Yeah.
Or approve it.
Wanted to take the option as well, Lee, before we look for the motion. We're seeing warmer weather, and we hope it continues in that trend, but we want to recognize your staff, all the work that goes into keeping the sidewalks, pavement, parking lots, you name it, safe and clear whenever we have some inclement weather. And again, hopefully this isn't, I'm not jinxing anything here. It's warmer weather right now, but really goes above and beyond. I know. Hey, look, okay, all right, yeah, I know. But again, as we prepare for, I know, positive thinking, power of positive thinking. But we do appreciate all the work because it sometimes happens at all hours of the day coming in. So just want to recognize your staff and the team and the facilities for making it happen, make sure we've got clear for our staff, also the citizens who come in to conduct county business. So we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, it is a challenge sometimes. I think, 2 weeks ago we had a little bit of snow and then had an inch of sleet and ice on top of it. And so there are definitely challenges, but the guys are, they're for it. They're making it happen. So again, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lee. All right, we look for a motion for the contracts.
Motion to add the contract with Mcgarvey Janitorial Service and Altoona Roofing and Sheet Metal LLC to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Lee, thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll turn it to Margaret for a human services item.
Okay, thank you. This item is a contract renewal with the Devereaux Foundation and their unit, the Devereaux Advanced Behavioral Health, to provide residential services for our Children and Youth Services Office and clients. The contract total is $65,000, and it's funded with state funds of $39,000 and county match of $26,000, and it's for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th of 2022.
Thank you, Margaret. We look for a motion for the contract renewal.
Motion to add the contract renewal with Devereaux Foundation to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay. We'll look for a motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
Motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. Okay. For our ABCs today, we have two for our Agricultural Land Preservation Board. We have two appointments. One is of Diane Homan and one is of James Heckman. We also have for the Recycling and Refuse Authority, Frederick Guskey, and he will be an appointment as well for the rest of this year. And lastly, we have for the Hospital Authority, Virginia Tichy, and this would also be an appointment to fill unexpired terms for this year. So we look for a motion to approve those appointments.
Motion to approve the ABC appointments.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, and then over to Commissioner Higgins for a check.
Sure, we have a slightly smaller than average check run in the amount of $1,335,250.92, and it just so happens that this is the week where we cut the semi-annual check to the Center County Public Safety Training Center. So we're cutting a check for $50,000 to cover a half of the county's pledge to operate that center. And again, thanks to Mark Keller for making that fixed amount stretch and for coming up with new classes and new projects that end up bringing in some additional revenue. So would like to make a motion to approve the check run dated February 18th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay. And we have no administrative report today, but we do have a letter of support. And this is a letter of support for the Highway Safety Network, and I think Ann or Ray, do we have speak on that? Okay, all right, great. Thank you, Ray.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Okay, morning.
This morning, we're asking the Commissioners to sign a letter of support for the Highway Safety Network Incorporated application for funding through the PennDOT District 2 Community Traffic Safety Network grant. Our current agreement is for $85,000. It's October 1st of 2020 through September 30th of 2022. The new agreement would run the timeline of October 1st of 2022 through September of 2024. It is a pass-through sponsorship that we work with Julie Lutz on. She performs much of the administrative duties with Highway Safety Network. The Highway Safety Network administers at least 7 highway safety grants, including Center County's, and their organizational goal is to reduce the frequency and severity of vehicle-related crashes, injuries and deaths through education, law enforcement, public awareness, and again, their main purpose is to save lives. So this is a program that we do have some relationship with and sponsorship through the county, through Center County.
Any questions on the letter of support for the Highway Safety Network?
I know they're very, very successful in outreach to children in the high school and making sure that they appreciate the dangers, particularly of driving while intoxicated, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good program.
That's a good example, Steve, yes.
That definitely needed. I think highway traffic deaths are actually up slightly for the first time in a couple decades, so need to keep working at this.
So it looks like we'll be favoring this letter of support. Would there be a motion to that effect?
Motion to approve the letter of support for the Highway Safety Network, Inc. Grant request.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Commissioner Gershom for a voter registration report.
Okay, as of this morning, the 2nd of February, or the second month of the year, the 22nd day,
That's right.
Yes,
And,
today.
2/22/2022.
it's Tuesday. So as of Tuesday, we have a total of 105,021 registered voters in Center County. That would consist of 44,062 Democratic registrations, 147 Green Party, 664 Libertarian, 14,146 non-affiliated, 42,148 Republican voters, and when you add the 3,854 all others, you get the 10521 total. My feature party of the minor registrants today is the third party, and the third party candidate this year has 1 registration. So we are strongly in third place there. So, and the feature precinct of the week is precinct number 56, which is Harris East, which votes at the Calvary Harvest Field Church in Boalsburg, and in Harris East precinct number 56. In the last election, there were a total registered voter population of 2,646. There was 1,181 ballots cast, which led to a voter turnout percentage of 44.63%, which isn't too bad. That's a very big precinct. I'd like to recognize the folks that make it happen in precinct number 56. The judge of election is John Graham. The minority inspector is Carol Graham. The majority inspector is Kenneth Mono. And the clerks are Catherine Vigor, Sarah Matthews, Mary Ann Henderson, Susan Hammerstedt, John Matthews, Sharon Mono, Kenneth Shafranco, and Robin Hallamant, and Loretta Kessler. That's a pretty big crew that makes that happen.
That list.
Yeah, but that being said, there's 2,646 registered voters, so that's a big precinct. So we want to thank everybody for all their help, and we'll be seeing you again soon. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do we have any announcements or executive sessions to report?
Yes, the Board of Commissioners met in executive session on Thursday, February 17th from 10:35 to 11 a.m. to discuss a legal matter.
Thank you, Martin. All right. Gary, any questions before we adjourn?
At this point, are you going to leave the proposal to hire a mail-in vote coordinator? Are you going to leave that open right now, or are you still? Are you still pursuing it?
Yeah, we are still pursuing. We are still accepting applications, and once we get enough applications to begin interviews, we'll start that process. Beth Leckman, our elections director, gave us a brief update at the last elections board meeting about that process. But yeah, still looking for applications for that position.
Recent meeting, you talked about possible bond issues, I assume for, where do you stand with a consultant's report on Centercrest? Is that coming soon, or?
Sure. The initial study has been finished in terms of the use of the facility. It's in great condition. There is ample square footage that we could be using for office space. We are finalizing some of the administrative tasks to get the bond issuance. There's something called a resolution, and there's a specific resolution that takes effect, and that allows us to spend certain funds going backwards. So we're getting that finalized, and that'll essentially allow us to kickstart the borrowing, but we're probably going to be looking at taking advantage of the low interest rates at this time. And so we're being mindful about that, still honing the project, but this year is essentially going to be a lot of the design work to finalize the design work with bidding out next year, early next year. So still progressing with that, yes.
Is there any estimated price tag for the work?
Not at this time. We're still, again, honing that. I think, as we all know, construction projects, renovation projects can throw unforeseen things into the mix. I think the big thing that we have to realize is as labor costs and supply chain issues persist or fade away, we potentially could see a lot of shifting over the next year. So we're going to be, I think, very conservative with the project, making sure that we're doing what we need to do, but also recognizing the fact that we need more space, and we could get some savings through not using leased space, but using space that the Center County government owns. So again, we're taking our time with it, being very mindful, but we'll be looking at that bond issuance probably in the next few months to come.
The plans possibly include an expansive area for CNET and local media.
There's an extensive budget for just the lounge area for the media. Yes, that was part of the initial discussion. We couldn't live that out.
For consultation, if you need.
Yes, and a refreshment bar as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Or maybe not.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay. Seeing no other questions, we will look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 10:37.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.